Does it mean that all of this international institutional government adoption killed the Bitcoin 4-year cycle? That is now the question. Is the Bitcoin 4-year cycle dead? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are on this beautiful world, whenever you're watching this video. Welcome to the Bitcoin family channel. For the newcomers, my name is Didi. First of all, guys, Happy New Year. We as a family wish you all the best, all the love, all the luck, all the experiences, all the fun, all the laughter, all the most epic thing in your life that will happen in 2026, and of course, all the health for 2026, guys. All of that from our family to you. Thank you for being a follower. Thank you for watching our videos all the time. We're almost at 100k subs, so please tell all your friends and family to subscribe, because we need another 1700 subscribers to reach 100k subscribers on YouTube, guys. In today's video, of course, like always, I have two news items. I have a shitload of very important charts that you need to see. Is the 4-year cycle dead? I'm going to give an answer to that, and of course an inspirational quote to end this beautiful first video of 2026 after a 2-week holiday. Amazing time with my family. Let's jump into the news first. Bam! First things first, guys, I am not a financial advisor. Everything in this video is only entertainment purposes. It's my opinion on the market, my opinion on the Bitcoin price, it's my opinion on the Bitcoin news, it's my opinion about life. Hope that is clear now. Now, first news item, Bitcoin, happy birthday, 17 years old since yesterday. 17 years ago, the first Genesis block was minted. That's like 17 years ago. Bitcoin did a lot of cool stuff in that 17 years. But that first message in that block, you will see it on the screen now, boom, there, says that it was created against the bailout of the banks. Why? Because the banks went bankrupt, and then the government stepped in. They did a massive bailout, printing a shitload of money to save the banks, and by that they helped the banks to continue doing their business. The people that created Bitcoin saw that and thought by themselves, hey, that is not the most honest money. If you can print it out of thin air to save an institution that is unsuccessful, that was like bankrupt, that could never lead to something good in the future for the normal people. And that is the truth. Because of that, a shitload of inflation happened in the last 17 years. So 17 years ago, that group of people said, hey, let's create Bitcoin. Let's create the most honest money ever. And that is Bitcoin. And now 17 years later, Bitcoin is the most successful asset, not only in adoption, but also in performance when it comes to return on investments. No financial advice, but if it is up to me, you should be in Bitcoin. Now, let's jump now into the second news item. Second news item is about Bitcoin adoption. Department store chain Bealls in the United States is now accepting Bitcoin in over 650 stores all over the country. So another department store accepting Bitcoin nationwide. Bitcoin is slowly also turning into money. Exactly what it created for, peer-to-peer cash. Not only the best performing store of value, even better than gold, but also now the best peer-to-peer cash. So just imagine the combination of gold and money in one asset called Bitcoin. You can store it as a value, but also you can use it everywhere in the world to do your payments, peer-to-peer cash. That's like running around the world with a gold brick and being able to buy a little bit of cheese, or to pay your rent, or whatever you want to pay with it is possible by now by Bitcoin. It's outperforming gold, so it's a store of value. It's outperforming real estate, so it's a store of value. But now you can use that same store of value to pay for your life. That is the best asset. That is a digital asset, decentralized, disconnected from state, that will have the future. The future of money will be decentralized, and you should be hodling that decentralized version of money. Bitcoin. My opinion, no financial advice, just a long-haired dude living his life in Thailand. Happy New Year, long time, but if it's up to me, yes, 99% of your capital should be in Bitcoin. Now, let's jump into the third news item. You all saw the news. Maduro was captured, the president of Venezuela, or the dictator of Venezuela, however you will call it. The United States took him to the United States. The new president probably will be a woman. She is very pro-Bitcoin. She was the opposite of Maduro. Because she was that, she needed to flee the country. She stayed in Norway for a very long time. Finally, Maria Corina made her appearance again, and she came out in Norway. She showed her face again because she was not safe, of course. Now she is safe because Maduro is captured, and she is saying Venezuela will be free again. We will fight for freedom. And she is pro-Bitcoin, as she understands that Bitcoin is providing them of that freedom. Please understand that Venezuela was one of the richest countries in our whole world. They have the most oil of all other countries. They can become the most rich country again, and they can fight inflation if they choose the right asset. And I think Maria is going to follow all those other South American countries that also adopt Bitcoin, and also to see the positive outcome of the Bitcoin adoption. El Salvador, Argentina, Brazil, and yes, now I think also Venezuela, especially now that Trump is taking the steering wheel and he is also pro-Bitcoin. She is pro-Bitcoin. They will go into a meeting and Trump will say, hey, I want to be friends again with Venezuela. Let's make a deal, but let's do everything together in Bitcoin. Amazing steps for Bitcoin, guys. Does it mean that all of this international institutional government adoption killed the Bitcoin 4-year cycle? That is now the question. Is the Bitcoin 4-year cycle dead? Let's jump into the charts to find an answer. Bam. Yes, of course. First some coffee, and then we will check the 4-hour chart. That 4-hour chart showing us exactly what we need to see today. We are breaking those green lines. Those green lines have been on my charts now for months. You know that because you are following us already for months, and you can understand that we mean what we mean with the green lines, because that means support and resistance. The support was here at 86K. We found support many times there. Now we are searching to break that 90K level, guys. That 90K level that we can see, I will zoom in a little bit. It's a 91K line. That one we are breaking with this current 4-hour candle, and that current candle is going to close in 37 minutes. So that means the chance is big that in 37 minutes, when this video is online, that candle is above it. If that candle closes above that, we broke a beautiful area of resistance that could even lead to a push of 94K. And if we break that, guys, we will go and take it all the way to 97K. If we would be doing all of that, breaking that 94K, breaking that 97K, maybe even taking it to 104K, then from that moment I can honestly say that maybe we will see a reversal into some bullishness for this Q1 of 2026. Until the moment that we break this 100K area, the trend is your friend, and for me it is still a bear market. Now, let's zoom out a little bit into the Gaussian channel, a 5-day chart. On this chart, guys, I told you the moment we come down below the Gaussian channel, that is historical being the start of the bear market. It was the start, and you need to switch to the Bitstamp chart to give you a better overview. But look, the moment we went down below it over there in 2022, start of the bear market. Let's zoom out a little bit more. The moment we went under it there in 2018, it was the start of the bear market. It was a 50% crash. This was again a 50% crash. So for me, we need to close candles inside of it, or even above the midline or top line, to be calling it still the bull market, extended bull market 2026, however you call it. If we don't do that, I don't believe it, and I still see a bear market. Could it be different this time? Could 2026 be an extended bull market? Yes, it's all possible, but until the charts show this to me, I can't agree. There we have the weekly chart. On that weekly chart, we can see the flip over there from strong buy to strong sell. This needs to flip into strong buy again, just like we saw over here in 2021, to become bullish again. The most positive move on the charts today is this one on the bottom here, guys. This one is really interesting because this one is the stock RSI, and the stock RSI has just crossed. The blue line went above the red line, and the blue line is already above that 20 area. The moment the blue and the red turn above that 20 area and the blue stays on top, that's a confirmation of a very bullish move. Just like it was over there, bullish move, very bullish move. Just like it was over here, very bullish move. Please don't be fooled. This is a 50K to 106K move. The last one was over there. We took it all the way from 70K to 126K. So these moves, we don't see that often on the weekly chart, but when we see them, it will be a bullish move. And we are about to see such a move over there. Every time, also there, guys, a very bullish move. Now, if you look to 2022, for example, here, a bullish move. All of them were bullish moves. So if we look now to 2025, each and every time we did this, here, first time in 2025, we had a massive move. One time in 2024, we did it over there, massive move. One time in 2023, we did it over there, and we did it over there 2 times, a massive move. So it doesn't happen often, but if it will happen here, then 2026 we'll see a massive move. Do I have some other interesting charts? Yes, I have some other interesting charts. Let's jump into them now, over here. This is the first one. This one is the happy birthday chart, because Bitcoin turned 17 years old yesterday with its Genesis block minted on the 3rd of January, of course. So check this, guys. Bitcoin on its first birthday was like 7 cents. The second one was 30 cents. And it was $4.88, $13.40, $800, $280, $430, $1,033, $15,000 in January 2018, $3,000 again in the bear market, $7,033. You can see it all over there. We had 98,000 US dollar last year in January, and this year in January we were 90,000 US dollar on Bitcoin's birthday. Amazing increase of price in the history of Bitcoin. Believe me, at halving 5 in 2028, that price will again be higher than these numbers that you can see to the left on the chart. Not a financial advisor, just somebody that has some experience in Bitcoins and tries to educate you. Now, let's see, do I have more charts? This one. This one is telling us that the Bitcoin circles are widening. If you look really closely to that chart, you can see that the cycles are becoming longer. Look, the first circle over there was a really round circle. It's becoming a little bit more oval there, a little bit more oval over there, a shitload more oval over here. And the next one again will be more oval, which means that the top targets and the bottom targets could be different. That we had a bottom over there. It started when we hit that circle and then we went up. Bottom over there, it started when we hit that circle and then we went up. Bottom over there, it should be starting when we hit that circle line and then move up. That is what the people believe now. An extended bull market into 2026. And then again, of course, that bear market. I'm still not in that camp. I'm still in the camp that the bear market has started until the charts prove different. On this chart you can see in what camp I am still in. I am in this one. For me, it's very clear that yes, we had a cycle top, and yes, we had 2 monthly red candles, and yes, we are in a bear market. Could that crash all the way with 65% to below 35K? No, I don't believe that. I think 40K-ish to 50K-ish, that should be the bear market bottom, as we didn't have a single blow off top. So yes, I agree that the market and the charts are becoming less volatile, less euphoria, less crashes, but I also agree that the 4-year cycle is still intact. Why? Exactly on the same moment, 17 months after halving, we made a top in October. That's exactly 17 months after halving. 1,420 days after that previous top. 1,420 days after that previous top. 1,450 days after the previous top. Here again, from bottom to bottom, 1,415, 1,430, 1,430 days. So that bottom will be somewhere in 2026. I don't believe it will be 65%, as we didn't have a blow-off top. We will have a milder crash, and that crash will go to 48K-ish, in my opinion, something around that area. That's where, of course, I will also start to stack more Bitcoin again with my trading portfolio. This is what I believe, until the charts prove me different. If these candles would go above this level over there, above 120K, then we have an extended bull market on the charts. Until that moment, we can see a rebound to 100K, and maybe then a continuation of that bear market. The charts need to prove me different. I can dream of a bull market in 2026, I can read all the news, but that's not what the charts are showing us at the moment. At least, not all the charts. This chart is showing us, hey, this is bear market territory. Normally, when we are at this low, with that orange line, that's the bear market. Look, the bull market, we top out really high. We go above 0.9, we go almost to the level of 1. Here, 0.8, that's a bull market. This, around that zero level there, that's the bear market territory. That's where we are at the lowest point in the bear market. Lowest point in the bear market. So this chart is telling us, hey, we could see another pump in 2026. Please show me that pump. If it would be that pump, then that would look like this. It would be looking like this. It would be a beautiful increase, and we would be here now. We would go into optimism again with a small pullback, then a huge push, then all the way up to euphoria. And it would need to happen then in January and February. Then in March we will see that crash, then we see this trap again, and then we see the full bear market all the way to June and even later in 2026. If that scenario would be true, that all people are talking about, all the very smart investors are saying this is the scenario, then it will look like this. We are here, we will go up, we will come down, we have a massive growth in January, February, and there we will start that bear market crash. That is the other scenario that a lot of people are hoping for. Until the charts go above this level over there, I don't see it happening. I need to see the candles prove me wrong. This is another chart that is telling us, hey, it is maybe not the bear market yet, and maybe it could still be an extended bull market. And as this chart is showing us that Bitcoin was always correlated to gold in a certain way, and when gold started to top out, that is the moment that Bitcoin started to run. Bitcoin would always run when here the gold market tops out on the bottom, that's the Bitcoin run. When the gold tops out, it's the start of the Bitcoin run. So people are calling now, hey, gold is topping out. It already had the highest price, it came down, it's up again, but still not making a new all-time high. Should it not be the start of the Bitcoin run? So yeah, some charts telling us it is possible that 2026 will be extended, but if you look at the price, we still need to see some huge pump. Now, way more important, guys, is the adoption of Bitcoin, because worldwide a lot of adoption. The adoption should be, of course, among the normal people, you, retail investors, but a lot of you are not able to buy, are not buying, or are all in already. We can see that 100 public Bitcoin treasury companies are already among us. Of course, number one is Strategy with 672,000 Bitcoins now. And we have at number 100 Horizon Kinetics holding 132 Bitcoins. But pause the video, check this chart, how many huge companies are already hodling Bitcoin. Mara Hodlings, 21 Capital, Meta Planet, Bitcoin Standard Treasury, all of these companies are hodling Bitcoin. It's not only companies anymore, countries are joining the game as well. These are the countries with the most Bitcoins that we know of at the moment, because I think there's a few countries not on this chart that also hodl Bitcoin secretly. But United States leading at the moment with 328,000 Bitcoins. Bhutan has already almost 6,000 Bitcoins. Venezuela has 240 Bitcoins. El Salvador 61,000. United Kingdom 60K. China 190,000 Bitcoins. Ukraine 46,000 Bitcoins. United Arab Emirates almost 6,500 Bitcoins. Korea 800 Bitcoins. Finland 90 Bitcoins. I do miss some countries over here, but this is a beautiful chart to show you that also countries are adopting Bitcoin. Which of the countries should you be living or moving to in 2026 to not pay too much tax? That is a very important question that we need to answer, because a lot of you are always asking me, Didi, you always state that you don't pay too much tax, because I live in a country that doesn't require me to pay